Hello, KidVenture team. This is Dawn Keever. I'm here to do a short training on safe and sanitary classroom practices. Safe and sanitary classroom practices. There are two sections to this video. The first section is prevention, which is the longest section, and the second section is sanitizing. Prevention and sanitizing. If we can think in these categories, it might help us to remember these things, although I'm going to have signs posted up in the classroom to help remind us and refresh us at various locations in the classroom. Your very first thing for prevention is hand washing, hand sanitizing. This is your new best friend. This is the best thing we can do to prevent the passing of communicable diseases, is to sanitize or wash hands as regularly as we possibly can. I want you to think about times when you would transition from one activity to the next. That makes sense to throw in some hand sanitizer right there for everyone in the classroom. So let's say you're having some playtime or some dancing and worship time in the classroom, and it's time for a snack, okay? Or Bible story time. That is a natural break and transition for everyone in the classroom, and it makes sense to throw in an opportunity to sanitize hands right there, okay? So think about that. When can I wash hands? When can we sanitize one more time? Ideally, you want to try to do that maybe 3 times during the classroom period. Best time to do it is when they enter the classroom. As soon as anyone, including leaders, enter the classroom, wash or sanitize hands, okay? All right, next kind of prevention is symptoms. We don't want to share symptoms. So if you see symptoms or you feel symptoms in yourself, if you see questionable symptoms, you're going to ask questions, and you're going to try to keep as many symptoms out of the classroom as we possibly can. So do this with grace and kindness, and ask a lot of questions, okay? So the next one for prevention, excuse me, is what I just modeled, okay? Coughing or sneezing should be done in the crook or elbow of the hand, okay? That's one way we can catch symptoms and keep them from spreading throughout the classroom. So model this and teach your kids to do this. Limiting sharing. Let's talk for a moment about this prevention step, limiting sharing. I'm going to give you some very practical things that you can do. When it comes to snack, instead of scooping everybody's snack with the same cup, I want you to scoop, snack, and give it to a child. This will be their new service utensil, rather than scooping and serving so that it shares with everybody. You're going to scoop and give to one child, and that's what they'll take from you and eat their snack out of, okay? Another thing we've done is we've bought baskets for craft supplies. There's enough baskets in your classroom for probably every child to have their own basket. Now, if we have to share, think about sharing per family. Glue sticks, crayons are in here, markers are in here. You can remove from this anything that you don't want kids to have access to for that particular Sunday or that particular craft, and leave in what you need them to do. And then sanitize it. As soon as they're finished with their craft, sanitize their basket and put it away. And that should be helpful for limiting the sharing, okay? The other really important thing that we're going to do to limit sharing is we're not going to bring personal items into the classroom, okay? So that means there's the only thing that's allowed is a labeled diaper and possibly a labeled dietary needs snack. If there's a child that has special allergies or special dietary needs and they want to provide their own, make sure it's in a zip top bag labeled with their name. And those are the only personal items we're going to allow. There's no diaper bags coming in, no extra jackets or sweaters, no sippy cups. Those things will be left in the hands of the parent, okay? All right. So, the next prevention item is face masks. Face masks are welcome in the classroom, especially when you're in super close contact moments with children. That is perfectly allowed, okay, and perfectly welcomed. Even children are allowed to wear those. Just keep your eyes open for difficulties with breathing, okay? The final thing for prevention is thoughtfully spacing children for gathering moments, okay? Thoughtfully space your kids for gathering moments. Now, our octagonal tables that are in the classroom really create space between children who are sitting face to face. And if you feel even still feel uncomfortable, just pull the halves of that octagonal table slightly more apart. Seat fewer kids around that octagon if you feel more comfortable with that. And we have 2 octagons per classroom. The other option is when you gather for story time or something on a carpet, use that carpet that has squares and just only allow certain number of kids per row and space them out a little bit more. If you don't have that particular kind of carpet in your classroom, use these story spots. We've just invested in some of these. You lay down the spots in the spacing that you think is appropriate. About arm's distance apart is ideal. And then invite the kids to come pick their spot that they're going to sit in, their favorite color spot that they're going to come and sit on. These are just some of a few of the prevention ideas that we have that will help with social distancing in the classroom. Remember, these are young children, though. It's going to be difficult to keep that perfectly, so please don't expect perfection. I don't expect perfection. What we're going to do, the main thing we're going to do is limit the number of children allowed in a classroom at a time, and that should help create space and opportunity for space in our classes. Second section of this video is sanitizing. Odoban, our best friend in the classroom. This is a green hospital-grade sanitizer that is incredibly effective at killing all germs, including COVID-19. The important thing to know is that this needs 10 minutes of dry time, 10 minutes of dampness on the surfaces in order to kill any germ. And that's true for any sanitizer that we know of in the universe. It requires 10 minutes in order to kill every single germ. So, again, think about moments in the class time when you might be able to do this. I think I would like for it to be done in one time in the middle of the class time, and then at the end of every class time, sanitize every surface, including high-touch surfaces and all toys that have been utilized. Okay, so let me give you a couple of examples. Faucet handles, soap dispensers, door handles, those are all high-touch surfaces. Your tables and your countertops, those are high-touch surfaces. Your changing tables, all of those things need to be sanitized, preferably twice during the morning if you possibly can. A great time to do it is when kids are all gathered at the table for snacks, and maybe you have Bible story time there too. If you can do that, then it might keep them there for a little bit longer. Perfect time to sanitize toys in the classroom. So send someone around to dig through those bins with their hands spraying while they're digging. That way as much surface area can get damp as possible. When the kids are finished with snack and story time and they return to the classroom, that's a great time to hit the countertops, changing table, and table surfaces, okay? That's it for our training video on safe and sanitary classroom practices. For your follow-up question, I want you to type down below your name in the comment section and maybe one suggestion that maybe was new to you. You'd never heard of that idea for how to limit sharing or provide prevention or sanitization. So type that in the bottom section in that comment area with your name so I know that you got something of value from this video, okay? Thank you guys.